EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Chargers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Room to run past midfield. There he goes left side. And his first carry, he loses the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is T.J. Logan to return it. Pretty move. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Cousins now on 2nd down. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get
blitz coming, and down he goes. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. So a special teams mistake on a long punt return.
And think about the momentum that leaks out after that play, right? It's built up, terrific return, everyone's excited. But that flag on the ground can bring it way, way back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They just do get the play off. Now Bridgewater. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Mixon with a first down carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Third and short yardage. Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Gun.
Play fake. Cousins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 3rd down, Cousins. He finds his man, Baldwin. Baldwin's first catch going to be good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Hey, flipper.
To throw, Cousins. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now a first carry from Giovanni Byrne. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Now the point after try for Santos. Santos with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, You know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He sets to fight. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And now it's 2nd down. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll throw again. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals getting set to go. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw is Bridgewater. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Second down, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. 3rd down here.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Cousins. Looking deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Fielded just inside the 20. Whoosh. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. To throw, Bridgewater. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to look deep down and got his man complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Cousins. He's going to let this one go deep. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. And it's 3rd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because you're right, they have had no room to breathe.
You got 4. Where's the hot? Mike 5-9.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And Bengals have recovered it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And the pitch goes to Mixon. Look at the spin. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and get it in with Sherman, the fullback. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chargers getting set to go. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
You're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking like the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. First down. Here's Cousins. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a 9-yard loss on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Santos now to add the PAT. Whoa. He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Running with Kamara. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Now Joe Mixon, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got the 1st down and more past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Mixon with it. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On the toss, Bernard shrugs him off, still on his feet, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And, boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out. It turned into a big loss of yardage.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. They toss to Mixon. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So out come the Chargers. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Hey, steamer!
On play action, Cousins. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Cincinnati, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year.